well. So Jerry, thank you so much, and I'll invite you up.
Yeah. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. As Nick said, my name is Jerry Lintz. I'm a hospitality instructor at Northeast Wisconsin Technical College and the board chair of Experience Greater Green Bay. Experience Greater Green Bay is a 501c3 nonprofit partner of Discover Green Bay. Experience's mission is to provide research and educational support for the tourism industry. The mission is satisfied by offering in-depth research studies, advocating the importance of tourism, and creating educational opportunities for tourism professionals and partners. By far, the largest Experience endeavor to date was funding and supporting the study of the NFL Draft, which by many measures was the largest and greatest event ever hosted by Green Bay. Needless to say, the economic and media impacts were significant. However, as you will learn, the value of this event goes far beyond dollars and cents. It is all about learning. The draft provided Green Bay with a national stage. The study provides a roadmap to strengthen the community and to ensure that Green Bay continues to deliver unforgettable guest experiences. On behalf of the Experience Board and the community, I wish to offer Discover Green Bay, the Packers, and PMI our sincere thank you for doing Green Bay proud. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Jerry. And to pull this off, we had so many leaders come together, and I had the privilege of working alongside some absolutely wonderful people, one of whom I'm happy to introduce now today. Gabrielle Dow is the Vice President of Marketing and Fan Experience for the Green Bay Packers and was our fearless leader of the local organizing committee. Thanks, Gabrielle.
Good morning. Is this on? Okay. On behalf of Mark Murphy, Ed Policy, and the Green Bay Packers, thank you, Brad, and Discover Green Bay for hosting us today. We're really excited to share the economic results from the draft, as well as the positive impact this event had, not just here on Green Bay, but across the region and the state. So before we get into specific data from the Economic Impact Report, I want to take a moment to highlight some of the broader benefits the draft brought to our community. We are so proud of the overall success of the event, especially from a community and operations standpoint. Everyone in this community stepped up. We do have the best fans in the NFL. Our fans showed up and surpassed all attendance projections, and we had record crowds throughout all the 3 days. The atmosphere was electric, and the NFL was blown away by our record crowds and how well our campus worked, from the green room at the Resch Expo, from the satellite stage that no one knew at the arena, even over at Titletown that held all the events from the experience. I don't think any of us, including the NFL, expected us to close those gates for a brief time and push people into the stadium. To be on a global stage with the eyes of sports, of the sport world on Green Bay for 3 straight days was a tremendous privilege. The media coverage spotlighted Green Bay as a welcoming, vibrant destination, along with our rich history in football. Our draft was the second most watched draft in league history. Let me repeat that again. Our draft was the second most watched draft in league history. The first most watched draft, obviously, was during COVID. Day one drew 13.6 million viewers across TV and digital watching Green Bay and our region. Day two drew over 7 million, and day three drew over 4.3 million. And day three was the most watched day three on record. The overwhelming positive coverage surrounding the Resch Expo, Lambeau Field, and Titletown was incredibly valuable for our state, region, and city, and will pay dividends for years to come. The NFL, the local organizing committee, and the host committee We're all committed to ensuring the draft reflected the uniqueness of our region, from the bike rides to the cheese curds. It provided numerous opportunities for local engagement and community organizations and local businesses. So here are a few things. More than 24 local nonprofit schools and community groups benefited from the events and activities the week prior to the draft. The NFL Source program awarded more than 100 contracts to local and diverse businesses. A big thank you goes to Delaware North, who managed all the food and beverage across campus. Delaware North staffed over 776 volunteers representing 18 nonprofit groups and organizations, generating over $266,000 in donations back to those groups. We had Polly's Pumpkin Patch, Feltz's Dairy Store, Porter's Patch, and Petals and Plow all participate in a draft corn maze. Those farms saw double-digit increases in visitors and revenue. Over 1,000 teammates were hired by the NFL to work at the draft, including my in-laws, Mike and Judy Dow. Thank you to Mike Haddad's brilliant idea to be the first draft to host an NFL Taste of the Draft. And this event raised more than $1.2 million. And 90 Wisconsin schools received nutrition grants, and over 13 million meals were donated to schools. That's awesome. Thank you, guys. Yeah. Okay, Aaron's going to kill me for this next one. I can't confirm or deny this source, but on day one, we sold more beer on Thursday night than all 3 days of the Kansas City draft, all 3 days of the Detroit draft, and some say both those drafts combined, with only one arrest. That's our fans. It was such a collaborative effort from the beginning to the end, and there were so many great organizations who had a role in getting us here and ensuring its success, both operational and economically. A special thank you goes out to our host committee, with Mike Haddad and Kate Burgess leading the charge as co-chairs. Mike and Kate really believed in this draft from the beginning and helped us make it a reality. To our donors who helped us get to the $8.5 million, with all the funds supporting the operations of the draft. To our local organizing committee, including Discover Green Bay, PMI, who worked tirelessly behind the scenes and were absolutely critical to our event's success. And we had so much fun and so many jokes. It was just great getting to know everybody even closer. To Travel Wisconsin and our elected officials at the state level for their support. And of course to our local municipalities, the city of Green Bay, the village of the Schwabenau, and Brown County, and all of their departments who played a critical role in a smooth and safe event, especially with public safety and first responders. From the beginning, we believed in the potential economic impact of hosting a draft. It was a major motivating factor. We had full confidence that our community would deliver, and they did. What you'll see in the report today reinforces what we already knew. The draft brought a significant value to our region and left a lasting legacy. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Gabrielle, and we appreciate your partnership. It was an amazing experience to go through this with your team and the PMI team. So we're ready to get to some numbers, and to share those numbers is Discover Green Bay's president and CEO, a mentor to myself, a community leader, Brad Toll.
Thank you. After hearing everything that Gabrielle shared with us, I mean, are these really even important anymore? I think we already can show that it was a tremendous success all the way around, but we do want to dive into some of the numbers. Again, it is Sports Impact is one of the companies that probably provided us with some of the most information in regard to what we're sharing today, but we also used companies such as Zartico, which does, I always call it creepy marketing, but Nick always yells at me when I call it that, but they use cell phone data, they use credit card data, to learn where people went, what they did when they were in a community. So you'll also see Smith Travel Research, which they provide hotel data on occupancy and things like that. So we will dive in, but a lot of this information comes from Sports Impact. And thank you again to Experience Cherry for contracting with them to get us this information. So, are you ready? It's good news. Our economic impact. Oh wait, first we've got a buzz video. Sizzle. We have that on auto repeat in our office these days. So yeah, it definitely builds up some of the anticipation for some of the numbers we're about to share. Now, Nick? All right, direct spending is one of the things we look at. It's the dollar for dollar, the visitor coming in and handing a dollar to one of our businesses. Direct spending was $43.4 million. Indirect and induced spending added together with that brings us up to $72.9 million in economic impact, and that's locally within our area. As you look down at the state numbers, and we do have the projections here, we projected 20 million. Of course, we also projected 240,000. So we were a little low on that. But the state number was 94 million that was projected, and that came in at 104 million. So basically what happened is more of that money was spent in our region. But we were pretty close on the projection for the state. And as Gabrielle shared, there was money being spent throughout our community. It wasn't just at restaurants or hotels, which oftentimes tourism-related events, that's the case. There were dollars spent in places that we had not anticipated when Aaron and I were working on some of those projections. 362,000 individuals or unique visitors to the area. So of the 600,000, yes, some came more than one day. Some may have left and come back, but 362,000 unique visitors to the area, that's incredible. We've never seen numbers like that at any of the events that we brought in, and that's from the Sports Impact Study. Just looking at lodging and our occupancy during that time period, Wednesday through Saturday, we were at about 77% occupancy throughout those days, and our average rate throughout that time period is $362. Peak, of course, was on Thursday when we were over 87%, and our rate on Thursday was $420. That's also a record. And some are probably questioning occupancy. Why was it not a little higher? Most of our rooms were being used by the NFL and their vendors. So that kind of bounced around a little bit during that time period. Lodging type, this is where people identified that they stayed. 56, well, pretty much 57%, 56.9, said they stayed in a hotel when they were here for the draft. Short-term rental was 35.5%. And then from there, camping, I think they were all in the Brown County campgrounds because those were quite full. Important to note, this is not information specific to Brown County. This is for the event. People that came to the draft, regardless of where they stayed, said they stayed 57% in hotels. Here is where they stayed. The Green Bay area, of course, was first on that list at 23%. Appleton also saw a number of people stay in their community at 17%. And then you can see some of the spread throughout the area, all the way down to Milwaukee. And for media, we'll share the slide deck too. So if it's tough to get some of these numbers and we're moving along a little bit quickly, we're happy to share that. So spotlight on Green Bay. These are also some pretty amazing numbers. We talked about viewers. Gabrielle went through some of those numbers. I think probably Shadar Sanders helped us on Saturday, but we'll take that, definitely. Just an interesting thing, when we bring events into the area, Discover Green Bay works to try and get media coverage as well, which those numbers were staggering. But just Discover Green Bay and NFL Draft, if we said and, both of those things had to be in a story, we were able to track 776 articles. And given Discover Green Bay was a part of that story, it likely had a tourism spin to it. If we just looked at NFL Draft and Green Bay, those numbers would be absolutely insane. But just looking from a tourism perspective, that's 6.3 million average views for each of those articles, 5.3 billion possible views of people that saw things about Green Bay for the draft, placement in 49 states. We need to do an op-ed, I think in Alaska was the one we missed. In 96% positive or neutral sentiment in regard to that. $50 million is what that would have cost us to advertise in all those places. Incredible exposure. Social media, we had 66 million interactions, 658.7 million video views, and that's through Discover Green Bay's tourism marketing. The NFL is still actually evaluating and sharing more numbers from that, so amazing numbers as well. That was NFL numbers. This is Discover Green Bay numbers here. 10.1 million views, 205,000 total interactions. Looking at attendance, I believe this is a typo, it should be 225 on Saturday. Just over 600,000 people over the days. crowd spread out pretty well. Friday, of course, we had a little rain, so it dropped down just a bit, but Saturday was absolutely fantastic. All right. Moving into visitor sentiment, and hats off to everyone at Lambeau Field, the Packers, Titletown, the Resch Complex, as hosts for venues. This is through the surveying that Sports Impact did. Among the best that they've been to, 60%, above average, 23.9%. It's only about 10% that said we were an average place. They didn't talk to us clearly, but that is an incredible percentage. Absolutely amazing. And when you look at Green Bay as a community, those numbers go up even higher. Not even 90, or a little over 90%. So, you know, when you bring an event like this in, people have different perceptions when they come in. You're trying to kind of change some of the negative ones and enforce the positive ones. These numbers are just crazy. So this one's fun. Nick turned into a word cloud. These were the impressions, the expectations prior to coming to Green Bay by visitors that were surveyed on site. So they think we're cold. And that's Friday, we may have shown them a little bit of that, but small beer was on there, Packers, of course, slow-paced, boring. Take a look at what they said after they got here and started enjoying our community. Amazing, friendly, awesome, welcoming. That's the kind of impressions we want people to leave with, and 362,000 people did. Also amazing, Nick, yeah, if you want to put them both up. I know it might be a little small, but that's really a fun comparison. And that's part of the thing that you always hope to do when you bring an event like this in, is to change people's negative impressions and expectations. We wanted them to discover there's more in our community. All right, looking at some of the numbers. This actually comes from Zartico, so they're using credit card data to calculate this. And as they're looking at changes in visitor spend, this would be from last year to this year. The change in the overall visitor spend was up 145% during the time of the graph. So huge, huge numbers. The one that is interesting, and we've heard a little bit of that from other businesses, certainly recognizing when you bring even an event of this magnitude in, not every business in the community is going to do really well. Some are going to do great if this is their area, restaurants and whatnot. Others may not do as well. And here's where part of that comes in. Change in overall resident spend went down 11%. So residents, instead of going out and buying a new bed or a TV, we're paying attention to the event that we had in the community, not really unexpected. So this, I realize, gets much smaller and harder to read. It is also up on the side TV as well. But again, if we look at the change in resident spend and go across, they weren't necessarily grocery shopping and going out and doing things in the community. But bars was up 127%. So they were still having a good time here in Green Bay. But as you look at some of the other categories for visitors coming into the area, certainly food, our lounges and bars, even retail up 268%. So they were definitely here spending in our community. All right, we're going to talk just a bit about some of the cross-visitation. Where did people go when they were here? This information comes from this article. 20% of visitors were observed at a restaurant and 13% were observed at a bar or brewery. Not like someone standing there looking at them, but their credit card was used in one of those places, or their cell phone went into one of those places while they were here. 35% also observed at a hotel, which matches up with some of the data that came from Sports Impact. Non-accommodation points of interest, certainly the areas around the draft, a lot of those cell phones and credit cards went to, including Kroll's, West, Hinterland, Stadium View, and Doozies. Those all came up pretty high on the list. Okay, here's some of the creepy stuff that's really cool. Nick totally geeks out over this, but this is a heat map, and we'll see in just a minute, we'll animate this. It's little dots of people that you can see coming into the community. At the end of the draft, they go back out to their hotels. The next day, they go back to the draft. So it's kind of fun to see when we say that people did spread around our community, this actually proves it. Where did he go? He ran away. We'll wait a couple seconds because it really is cool to see. Oh, here we go. It's cool to see how many different areas in the community people went to. We looked at some of these from Detroit, from Cleveland. They work with the same company that Discover Green Bay works with. And I think it was Cleveland, we were looking at theirs, and there was a real bright line that went somewhere. We're like, where did those people go? It was the casino. So I believe there was some impact over at our casino too. All right, thanks, Nick. All right, so here again is some of the locations of spending. Certainly the biggest spend was in the Lambeau Field, Titletown area, which makes total sense. That was about 70% when you looked at the state. Brown County spending, 20%, and beyond Brown County, about 10%. So again, those estimates where we had probably more money being spent around the state than Brown County, it actually became more in our area than it did in other parts of the state. Here's where some of those dollars were spent in the area. Visitor movement. So when they were surveyed at the draft, they were asked where else they went outside of the draft footprint. Number one was bar. Quick Trip. We should have got the sponsorship. Who knew? And then one was home, so that was our locals that went home after it was done. Stadium View, Kroll's, downtown, so kudos to Green Bay. They did different things to highlight their downtown. Restaurant, Titletown, they didn't realize when they were at the draft, they were actually in Titletown. Appleton, Culver's, Museum, Park Mall, Bay Beach is on the list, Shops, gas station, So they really did spread around our community and state. Awesome. That have been fortunate enough to have the draft in their community have 70 employees. We have 14. So the Packers absolutely made us a part of the team, but they took a lot of the responsibility, which we're extremely grateful for. And PMI, my goodness, they knock it out of the park. We actually have a huge bowling event in right now, and on Sunday night, they were on national TV, actually, CBS Sports, and we had the women's championship, which was the opening ceremony of Junior Gold, which brings about 4,000 bowlers to our community. First thing the CEO said to me when I walked in on Sunday night, "We want to come back." And it hadn't even started yet. So kudos to PMI as well. You did an awesome job through the entire event. So with that, I will turn it back to Nick.
Again, just thank you to everyone involved. So Brad told the story about bowling. He sent me a message and said, because he was at the event, he was like, "I TiVoed it, Nick." I was like, "That's not a thing anymore, Brad." So he was watching the replay back, commenting on all the great scenes from Green Bay. But again, thank you all for coming. I know there may be some folks live streaming, so right now we'll just open it up for a quick Q&A from any of our speakers. And then the speakers, and I know PMI has some representatives here too, myself will be available for one-on-one interviews following the Q&A. So if there are questions, please just raise your hand and we can go through now, or we can do the individual ones following. So open time for questions. Okay, sounds good. Thank you all for coming.